What's going on, y'all? This is Q Ortiz, your local San Diego massage therapist, musician, and artist. And I'm hopping on here to talk about the mucusless diet misconceptions. I did a short video on my YouTube channel, or not on my YouTube channel, on my Instagram channel at QOrtizHealth Health about the misconception about mucusless diet healing system practitioners, where non-practitioners may hear mucusless diet healing system and only focus on mucusless diet. With that thought, they think that you don't eat mucus, or if you're practicing that diet, then you don't eat mucus at all. And that's not the case. The whole point, whenever you hear practitioners of the mucusless diet healing system speak about the system, most of the time, the majority of the time, they are recommending you read and learn about what the system actually is, because that explains everything. That explains when you do eat mucus, how do you eat it? How is it prepared? Why are you eating it? Why aren't you eating it? It just gives you more of a perspective on what you're doing. And if you look at the idea of following the system, I mentioned there are practitioners eating mucus every day, and they're still practicing the mucusless diet healing system. And how can that be? That can be because in the system, there's a way. There's a way to incorporate mucus. So it's important to learn and become exposed to this kind of knowledge, because you're not going to see it in the mainstream. And I was just speaking with a friend earlier about the marketing that has been placed on us growing up about milk with its calcium and building strong bones, and this sort of manipulation. And yeah, now I'm getting manipulation. Just in the sense where it's not necessary. How can you be convinced that drinking milk from a cow or a goat or any animal for that matter is necessary for our health? Even some people, this was an observation. Some people would drink milk, notice, okay, I can't drink this because the lactose is not digesting, or it's not working well for my body. My body's letting me know that this isn't working. And because of the thought that we need milk, they'll get lactose free milk. And yeah, that's what we're talking about. Just the marketing aspect, to where we're being led to some random destructive path. So, and I'm not on here to judge or anything like that. This was a conversation I had, and something I noticed that us as humans do is, I'm not singling out anyone, just more, I know I'm a part of the whole system as well. I've been lied to regarding the milks and all that, and even practicing the mucusless diet healing system. I don't claim to be a master at it or anything like that. What I am is someone who came into the information through a friend. I read the book, I watched more videos on the YouTube, just finding people like Professor Spira, got more information, got deeper into the practice. In deepening my practice, I noticed the words from the book showing themselves to be true within my body regarding if I was being too aggressive with certain foods, noticing different pains in my body, or if my joints felt stiff, and if I was actually dehydrated, where it could seem like, oh no, I drink water or I'm hydrated, but really taking the time to hydrate yourself and feeling the difference and knowing, oh, I was not hydrated at all. That was not that was not my experience. So from those happenings to then with the enemas, in addition to the system, utilizing the system of loosening the waste inside the body, fasting, allowing for the body to remove its waste, and then going in with the enema and flushing some of the craziest, nastiest stuff that I wouldn't have thought was in my body coming out. And that's where it's it becomes your truth rather than this sort of idea of how you should be or how you should eat. It becomes your truth. And that's what happened for me. So it doesn't, that's why I say, for me, I'm not saying that I'm perfect at it or by any means any of that. I'm just exploring something that I found work like works for my body, and also navigating through the tools that are given from that system. And I'm always listening, I'm always open and hearing different ideas and getting perspectives. I said in another video, someone was coming up to me kind of attached to the idea of food, and I want to do another video on that. I might have to break that up just to talk a little bit about the idea of food. Well, I'll speak about it now. We already talking about it. Where some people, they gather around food. And when I'm saying this, I'm not saying it as if it's wrong to gather around food. I've just noticed with the mucusless diet healing system, with practicing, I've found out that with eating, it's very intimate, it's very personal. And when it's that personal, it's not like, okay, let's all gather, let's plan to eat on Thursday at 2 o'clock, where You ever have the feeling that you weren't hungry? I'm sure you have. And it could be Thursday at 2 o'clock. I'm not really hungry. But you have this scheduled food gathering situation, and it's kind of awkward. You could still eat, but you see what I'm saying? It's like you're just not, you're not like planning to eat at this future date. You're just living right now and following your body. You're listening to your body. That's the whole practice of the mucusless diet healing system. It's about listening to your body. So when food gatherings are so embedded, even days where they're celebrating with food and all of this kind of stuff, it makes it, I'd say, not challenging, but just it makes it unique. It makes your situation unique because, especially I say with me, a lot of my interactions have been based solely on an activity that me and the other party enjoy, or parties, however, enjoys. For example, if I'm meeting up with my Kung Fu, Qigong family, Chan family, we're meeting up and we're training. We're doing Qigong, we're doing Kung Fu. When I'm meeting with, say, with the band, with Full Moon Tiger, we're meeting up and rehearsing. We're playing music. I'm meeting with friends. Sometimes we're just at the beach or at the park. And it doesn't mean that we don't eat. That may just happen, right? I might eat before I go to these different places, or I might have some dates, or I was hanging with a friend recently. I brought a papaya, just had a papaya chilling, and when we were hungry, boom, papaya, something like that. So it just, it makes it this big grandiose thing where people gather around food, and I don't know if that's inherent in, whether it's the culture or just with human beings, but I've even noticed for myself with eating, it's kind of like a means. And I was speaking with a friend about this. It's kind of like a means. Like you're eating because your body needs that specific food at the time, right? And that can be debated with mucusless diet healing system, but just put it in the perspective of, say you are slowing down elimination or what have you with the food. You're using the food as a tool to continue moving forward. And how that looks, at least in this current phase, for me, is just making the food, going through that process, chopping up, right? Some kabocha squash, you already know. If you don't, then you know. And cooking it up. While I'm cooking, I might be doing some other activities. Cook it up. Then when it's ready, eat it, boom, and then continue working or just doing other things. It's not really it's not really a thing. It's not really I'm not to say I'm not enjoying the food at that time. I'm definitely a lover of that. Just natural foods. But it's just not a whole scene. It's not a whole scene about it. It's just boom, it's serving its purpose. Delicious. Thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then on to the works, so to speak. All right. Well, I hope you got something from this this expression. I could speak forever about this. And if you have any thoughts or questions, drop a comment below. Like this video if you like it. And if you want to continue on this journey with me, click subscribe and we can vibe. Peace out.